Now, what we created at the end, we created some case object. So we created email to case. Now continue it. Just to scroll down, you can see there is uh, a one email to case routing address created. So just go to that, or you can go to edit and just copy this link and go to your email, whatever email you had provided. So this is my ID. I had provided this, and here you just need to paste it. And for subject, suppose regarding recharge complaint, this is to inform you that the recharge I made was not successful. So, and you can add any information. Is so suppose this is a complaint, and send it. Now we will check this. So to check case object, let's go to case object. This case. And here we'll do all open cases. So here you can see recharge regarding recharge complaint. So this is the complaint I did from my email ID, right? So today's date and today's time, and it has been assigned to Ranchi Cube. So whatever we had made yesterday, so this is just a testing for that. I hope it's clear. Now today we will learn about escalation rules. So what is an escalation rule? Remember one thing, that escalation escalation is always related to some cases. Whenever suppose whenever a case is created, the escalation goes parallelly with it. Suppose a case is created. Suppose you uh, did recharge. You recharge your Tata Sky. Suppose so you recharge your Tata Sky, and uh, the amount is reflecting, but your television did not started. Your channel, you can't view the channels, right? So in that case, you raise a complaint. So in that case, you raise a complaint, and against your complaint, a ticket, an event ticket will be generated, and the ticket will be given to some queues, some groups, right? And you get some limited time, some time in hours, like uh, your matter will be solved within 2 working days, right? So in this type, you can get some time, and they try to resolve your problem as soon as they can, because they have one chance of losing the customer, right? So if they can't solve your problem, you can leave that. You can leave that Tata Sky, right? So they don't want to you to leave. That's why they try to solve your problem. But in case if they don't, if they can't solve your problem in a scheduled time, right? What they have provided to you. So in that case, escalation is required. So if they can't solve your problem get escalated to the higher hierarchical role, right? That means the person who is or the group who is higher than them, right? So that's why escalation is important. I hope you have got some picture of escalation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's create some escalation rules. First, let's take a scenario. Suppose when uh, when case priority is medium. So when case priority is medium, whenever a case is created and its priority is medium, and the time given equals 48 hours, and also one thing I want to and suppose there is a case whose priority is medium and the time scheduled given uh, is equal to 48 hours, and if the work is not done within that 48 hours, I want it to re reassign to some group, right? So I want it to reassign to some group like escalation queue. So I hope it's clear that whenever a case is generated whose priority is medium and the time given to solve that case, that ticket is 48 hours, and when after 48 hours when it is not solved, I want to reassign it to some escalation queue. I hope it's the case is clear. So
Yes.
let's go to our org and try to create one escalation. So we'll search for escalation rules. And you can see case escalation rules, right? So there is some standard case escalation rules, which is active. Go to new, make it active, and suppose what are we creating? We are creating some uh, case whose priority is medium. Medium priority. So it's name it as a medium priority escalation, so that it will be in our mind. So we are creating one escalation that is of medium priority. We have created it. Now go to this, and here you can see that rule entry. So there needs some criteria, and suppose its order maybe one. And criteria, what can we fix? We can fix some criteria like yes, criteria is there. Case priority. So case priority. Yes, case priority equals, is it in lookup? Let us check. Yes, it's in lookup. So select it. So this is our criteria, case priority. equals medium. And here you can see that business hours are there. So let us check about business hours. What is business hour? Here we'll find about business hour and select it. So business hour, there are some default business hours. In if we want to create new, so let us create one. So you can see that there is some time zone, right? And if we want to create according to the requirement of the client, we need to select the time zone, right? So what is our time zone? That is whatever be the time zone, we'll have to select that, right? And after selecting, yes, you can see that Indian time zone, right? So you can select it, and then you need to define the business hours. So define the business hours, you can change it, right? And after defining the business hours, just save it. Right now I don't want to create any, I want to use the default. So this is about business hours. Here I don't want to use business hours. Let us create a uh, rule without business hours. Okay. If you want to set, you can set, right? But if you want to ignore, just ignore it. Then case is created, and save it. So we have created this, and now the next step is to create uh, escalation actions. So go to escalation actions. Here you can see that so according to our criteria, we are giving 48 hours. Here this is hours column and this is minutes. So if it is 48 hour 30 minutes, you can give like this. Here the user queue. Yes, one thing, we need to create some queue, right? We need to create some queue before because we need to assign this, and there is a queue, but we let us create some queue for escalation. So create one, go to queues, and just create one queue like escalation queue. So this is a queue, escalation queue, and why we left the Ranchi queue? If this question comes to your mind, then here is the answer. That case was not there, right? And escalation rules are related to some cases. Therefore, I need to select this object, right? If you want to send mail to members, you can send mails, right? And if you want to leave it, just leave it. So need to select some users, select it, navigate it. Now save this. So we have created a queue. Now we'll create one escalation action, and time is 48 hours. user is some queue, and let us check whether our queue is showing or not. So it is showing. Select it. There is some notification template. Uh, so select one template. Case assignment notification. Suppose you can create your own and then assign it. And here you can see that notify any user. If you want to get notified, we can select any user, and if you don't want, just leave it and save it. This is also mandatory, right? So we need to now save it. So it got saved. So we have created like case priority equals medium, right? And 48 hours time uh, to escalate this, right? That means when this case is created and 48 hours is given, then after 48 hours, if the case is not resolved, if the case is not solved, then it will escalate to a higher hierarchical role. So let's go to test this. So related to cases, go to cases. And here we will create a new case of medium priority. According to our requirement, we are going to create one case of medium priority. So priority is medium given, and assign user, okay, save it. Y case origin, and case origin is maybe anything, email. So 4 times 0 1030 case is created. Yes, so we have created one case, and now uh, we will check, but as the time foundation is 48 hours, right? So it will take 48 hours to escalate. We can't wait for 48 hours. So let's see the other option to check it. So go to case escalation rules, case escalations, and yes, here you can see case to escalate. Use let's select case to escalate. Is not equal to, and leave it blank and search. So you can see that the case which we have created 4 times 0 1030 is showing, and the time is 48 hours, right? So this is the case it is showing. So I hope it's clear. We have created a case, right? We created an escalation rule, and then we created a case, right? And after creating the case, we just checked about its escalation time. So everything is showing here, and the case was of medium priority. So whenever the case is of medium priority is created, and the time for its completion will be 48 hours, and within that scheduled time, if it is not completed, then the case could be escalated to someone who's higher higher in hierarchy. So this is it. I hope it's clear.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move forward. So there are some uh, auto response. So there are some auto response rules, and these rules will be available for both lead and case objects. So let us see about lead auto response rules. So suppose if you create a lead, and the lead, if it is created from web, like we created a form, right? So we created a form web to lead. So by using this web to lead form, if we create any case, any lead, right? So if we create any lead, I want there would be some response to go to the person who is creating this, right? In respect to this, I want some response to go with that person, go to that person who's creating this. So suppose the case, let's see the case. What is the case? uh, so whenever the lead is created, whenever any lead is created by using that web to lead form, I want some default responses uh, sent to the user. So send some default response, send some default response to the user whenever uh, the lead is created by web to lead form. I hope it's clear. Some send some default response to the user whenever a lead is created by web to lead form. So let's go to let's first create. So here we'll search about auto auto response. Here you can see that lead auto response rules. So lead auto response. There you can see there is no rule specified. So just create a new rule, and the rule name let's take as lead response with the rule name, and make it active and save it. Now go to this, and just need to specify some criteria. So suppose uh, suppose criteria. So suppose one criteria is yes. Suppose this criteria, if the city is Ranchi, if city equals Ranchi, if the city equals Ranchi, uh, specify specify the name and address. So if city equals Ranchi, specify the name and address, right? So suppose this is our criteria, and so suppose this is our criteria. If city equals Ranchi, specify the name and address. Let's go to our rule. So this is now go to our rule entry and make this as 1. So lead city, here you can see lead city equals Ranchi. So lead city equals Ranchi. If lead city equals Ranchi, then I need to verify the name and address. So suppose this is the name, and here we need to fill the valid email address. So I am filling a valid email address, and this is also required. Select any email. You can select any email, right? Suppose this is the email, and save it. So we have created, right? And now it's time to test. So just go here and test it. Like suppose test is the first name, and okay, let's put some valid email address. So suppose and city equals Sanchi, province, Jharkhand, and phone number submitted. So we have created. Now we'll check whether it has been created or not. So let's go to the case object, lead object, right? Here open all open leads. So you can see test 1 2 3, and I need to check my email also. Here you can see an email. So let's open it. So dear test 1 2 3, thank you for inquiry about. So this is the message. So I hope it's clear for creating an auto response rule, right? Whenever the user is sending some information about himself, and even whenever he is fulfilling the criteria, the given criteria, right? So in that case, he will get a message, he will get on an email, and I tested it and I have got an email. So I hope it's clear. So case auto response rule is also there. So for case auto response rules, suppose take some case. Okay. So suppose whenever the case origin is, yes, suppose whenever the case origin is web, like whenever I am getting any case from web, right? We have created yesterday one web to case and one web to lead, right? So we just tested uh, uh, yes, we just tested this web to lead. Now we will test this web to case, right? So we created it yesterday, and now we'll use it. So yes, whenever the case origin is web, here if I am sending any information from this form, right? So the case origin is here is web, right? So this is coming from web. That's why the I am taking it as when the case origin is web, right? So whenever the case origin is web, uh, I want to send some email template. So suppose this is the case, I want to send some email template to the user. So is it clear? I whenever the case is origin is web, whenever I am getting any case from web, right? I want to send the send some email template to the user who's creating the case, who's generating the case, right? So to we have seen it on now. No case assignment response rules. So here we will go for next new and as rule name. Let's take it as we created lead response. Now we will create yes web uh, case response. So this is web case response. So it can be distinguished from lead response, right? So let's save it. Now we'll go to this and here we'll do new to fill some criteria. So what is our criteria? Suppose this is one. What is our criteria? Our criteria is whenever the case origin. So case origin equals, let us search if it is given here. Yes, it's given. So whenever the case origin is web, right? Case origin equals web. So criteria is clear. Now I need to give some valid email address and valid name. So giving the same. If you want to reply to address, you can give the address. Now email template is mandatory. So select one email template. If you have created, then you can use your own email template, right? And if not, then just use any case created web inquiries. Suppose use this. If you want to send response to all recipients, you can give it or just save it. So suppose this is true. And the email address is the same as an email address used to email to case routing. Please enter a different email address. So here we need to enter a different email address and let's use a different email address. Okay. So here we need to put some valid email address. That's why I'm searching for valid email address whose response I could get so that I can show you. So let's go there and paste it. So now save it. If there is oh, it's showing invalid. Right now I don't have any other email address. So let's suppose it will take or not. I think it will take. Oh, it's taken. Okay. Here it's created. So it's a valid email address. Now This is the email address. So now we'll fill the form and check, right? So let's fill the form, and it is of web to case. So contact name is test, email address is or maybe so phone number anything, subject, and priority. Suppose this is of high priority, and submit it. So I hope it's created. Uh, yes, we have got one email. So dear test, thank you for submitting, right? So it's created, and now we'll check in our application whether it is created or not. So for that, let's go to cases, and all open cases. Here, this is the one which I created right now, charge. So you can see that what priority I gave, and it took the same priority, and case origin here is web, right? So it is fulfilling our criteria. That's why it is showing, it is giving us some email. So I hope it's clear. This was the testing. So today we created some uh, escalation rules regarding case and lead, right? We created some auto response rules also. So this was all for today.